What excites me about working at the East Lansing Public Library is pretty much everything.
My name is Gabby Kindig. I am the Marketing and Communication Specialist here at the East Lansing Public Library.
Yeah, so my name is Angelo, and I work here at the East Lansing Public Library as Adult Services Librarian.
My name is Phyllis Tody. I'm the Community Development and Volunteer Coordinator here at the library.
Hi, I'm Eric Dr. B. Burling. I am the STEAM Education Specialist here at the East Lansing Public Library, and STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics.
My name is Jillian Streeter, and I'm the Youth Services Librarian here at East Lansing Public Library.
What really excites me about working at the East Lansing Public Library is in part the wide range of resources and services we provide, and in part the people I get to work with. So with the resources and services, before working here, I had no idea all of the things that the library did. And as I was learning more and combing through our website and getting familiar with everything that we offer, I discovered that the library really has something to offer and support for every stage in a person's life. And that is something that I think is really unique.
There are so many possibilities. We have so many resources that, I just didn't know that until I started here, I didn't realize how many things we had going. There's a lot of possibilities, and our community is so open to different types of collaboration. There's so many things that we could do.
Also, we're open-minded, and if you have an idea for a program that you'd like us to do, come and talk to us, and you'll find a flexible staff that really are interested in giving the community what they would like.
So the other exciting part about my job is the people I get to work with. I have some of the kindest, most creative, genuinely cool coworkers that I could ever imagine. I'm really, really lucky to be able to come to work and be surrounded by people who support me and encourage me, who try to help each other as much as possible, and who are just genuinely doing really cool and interesting things in their own departments.
So, one of the things that I'm especially proud of about working here at the East Lansing Public Library is the way that my coworkers and I have come together to support each other in all of our needs, both as workers and as people that are providing a professional service to the people of East Lansing.
I think what sets us apart is that all of the staff of the East Lansing Public Library are public service oriented. We want to help you with whatever you need to accomplish while you are at the library.
My coworkers are incredible, and I know they are a large part of what makes the library experience so good for our patrons too. Then also, in the course of my work as a marketing and communication specialist, I've been meeting a lot of cool community members. So with this Patron Perspective series, I've been sitting down with people and interviewing them. I've been getting to know them. I've been getting the written submissions, and it's just been really great to meet the people who make the library what it is and get to hear their stories and get to share them with everyone through this series.
Every day that I come to work, there's a new story to share with the people in my household, my friends and family. Every day I have at least one interaction with a patron that is really positive and really shows that the people in this community value the library, and that not only that, but my coworkers and I just love working with them.
I was raised in Texas, but my family's mostly from Michigan, so I decided to take it on as an adventure. Learning about the physical experience of winter and snow has been wild. and a lot of fun. Also very cold. But it's been great learning and about the community and meeting folks here, and just kind of getting out and getting a little more familiar and getting a little less lost, just navigating the roads. But it's a great community, and it's really been neat to meet so many people.
I'm the Community Development and Volunteer Coordinator here at the library, but I started 20 years ago at the circulation desk and also worked in the children's area, so I've worked in a lot of different areas in the library, started working here, we had a circulation desk that was mammoth, and we also had like reference desks in different parts of the library. So when we were given the amazingly generous donation by the anonymous donor and the library opened up, that's just been a gift, because we used to have like two sides of the library and you couldn't walk through and walk in a circle around it. And now with our fabulous children's area that's so vibrant and exciting, and being able to walk around the whole building and just make it really patron-centric, so that whatever program was coming, we could move things around and make room for it. When we have our huge fundraiser in April, Books, Bites, and Bids, we get to move furniture to accommodate all of the wonderful donations we get from the community. And being able to do that with the space has been just a great change for the library.
The East Lansing Public Library is very integral to the success of the larger East Lansing community. We provide our patrons and local community with all sorts of resources and opportunities to learn about the world, to develop their skill set, and just as sort of a place to have fun or to relax. I mean, sort of a feature of the modern world is there's very few places people can sort of just socially exist without an expectation that they're buying something or shopping for something or some sort of like pressure in that way. And the library is a great community spot for people to gather, to congregate, to meet, to learn, to explore, to relax, and to sort of do so at their leisure.
The most exciting thing about working at East Lansing Public Library and libraries in general is the ability to get books into people's hands. As a reader myself, it's often quite exciting to go to the library and there's a book waiting for you that you've been wanting to read for a long time or you heard about, and it's there waiting for you. There's no money exchanged. You got it in your hands, and the amount of labor that goes into getting that book in a patron's hands is pretty significant. And so I'm just really grateful to be a part of that team. The team here at the library that catalogs those books, that puts those books on the shelf, that pulls them for people, that makes the recommendations for based on what people are reading, that buys them, that brings them in the van to different communities across the city, etc., etc., etc. So, I mean, it's just really, I can't stress enough how important it is that we have here in this community such a great collection of books in all formats, all genres, just ready for people to use.
I think another really important aspect of the library is our diverse collection. I want people to be able to walk in and see themselves on the covers of books. I know growing up, the books that I saw were very different from the books I'm seeing on our shelves now. And as I walk through our shelves some days, I just think like, wow, like this did not happen when I was a kid, and I'm so glad that it's happening now, you know? And so, of course, not every book in our collection is going to be suitable for every patron. People have the right and the freedom to choose what they want to read and what they want to not read. But I think having that diverse collection is incredibly important because everyone deserves to feel represented, everyone deserves to feel seen and understood, and everyone deserves to feel like they belong. And so, when you walk through the doors, I hope you feel that, and I hope that you know that we want you here.
If I had to describe the library in 3 words, I would probably say community, creativity, curiosity.
Helpful, fun, and enriching.
I thought really hard about this because I like to talk and it's hard to narrow it down. There's so many things. Community, creativity, connection.
I have a lot of top favorite memories from my time working here at the East Lansing Public Library so far. I've really enjoyed filming the Sidewalk STEM features with Dr. B every week. Over the summer, when he was trying to fry an egg on the sidewalk and then his car, I thought those were especially fun. I've also really enjoyed our new bird watching stations, which were generously made possible by Wild Birds Unlimited. I think that's a really cool way to bring nature to the library. And if you sit in those chairs sometimes, other nature comes by too. Like I saw a deer come up and just lay down and hang out with me while I was working one day for like a solid half hour. It was really cool. I have really enjoyed all of the art that happens in the library. Dana Walton, who did our River Critters mural in the Maker Studio, is one of my favorite artists and has been for years, and so it was really incredible to meet her and work with her. I've also really enjoyed seeing our new mural on the northwest exterior wall go up that features real East Lansing residents, and it's really cool to learn about the East Lansing civil rights history and learn about those residents' stories and see, again, these are the people who make up our community, and one of my favorite parts of my job in general is getting to meet the people who make up our community. I've really enjoyed just finding all of the little delights of the library. Jillian recently showed me there's a peek window over by the book return when you first walk into the library, and she sets up a display for the kids to see. And so recently she had little bats hanging down reading books, and that was her Halloween display, and it was so fun. And so just, every day is something new and interesting, and every day is something fun, and every day is something that feels worthwhile and fulfilling to do. And so this is a really great job because, I genuinely love what I do, and I know a lot of other staff do too, and I think that makes a big difference in how we are able to show up and provide services for our patrons.
There's so many things to be proud of what our library has done, but I have to be honest, one of my favorite projects that I've ever worked on was with Barbara Bailey Hutchison, who's an artist and singer, and she came and did a workshop with Red Cedar School where each student at Red Cedar was given a square and they were shown what to paint on the square. And when all of the squares were put together, it became the gorgeous artwork that hangs in the library called One World, Many Stories. And it's also on our library cards. And being at the unveiling of that, when no children or no staff knew what the painting was going to be like when all of the pieces were put together, was truly an incredible moment, just of joy and working together, accomplishing something for the community that still brings joy to this day. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, come to the library and look above the computers on the wall, and you'll see the world being held by many different colored hands. And that's called One World, Many Stories. And I have to be honest, that's one of the highlights.
I'm very lucky in that I love my job, and every day I come in, it's something sort of new and exciting as I find ways to interact with patrons and sort of inspire their curiosity, help them sort of nurture their creativity and find ways to express it in our Maker Studio. So it's just a lot of fun. I have always had a lifelong love of science and learning, but in particular sort of the scientific mindset. So even as a kid, I spent a lot of time at parks, at our local library. I think I had checked out every book about nature and animals probably 4 or 5 times from my local branch. So I've always loved that. And I came to graduate school here in East Lansing many years ago to get my PhD in the philosophy of science, and I was able to do that and ended up sort of falling in love with the East Lansing area and the community, and luckily sort of found a spot here at the East Lansing Library that's a perfect sort of intersection of my interests and my expertise.
Every library is only as useful and important to its community as it gets its use from its community. So I'm very excited to see people starting to use libraries more, both in the physical sense, but in the virtual sense as well. We still are doing a lot of great virtual programs, and we have a lot of really great digital resources that you can use from home as comfortably as you like. But it's really great to see people getting more interested in what the library has to offer. There's so many possibilities and things that we can share with our community, and that's exciting.
It's wonderful seeing the many ages of people that come to the library from when they were little tiny kids to now if they're in college, and they always have something to come back to, and it's great to watch their growth and to be a part of that growth. And also, the many older patrons that we work with. It's great to talk about books and just hear what's going on in their lives, and just to feel like a family atmosphere here.
Just come and see us. Come see the cool things that we're doing, and come tell us about the cool things you're doing. Maybe we can work on something together.
I'm excited for the future.